So welcome back here. This is an incredibly important game that's coming up after this matchup. This is an important game too because this is going to decide who heads into the Champions Division. And I'll tell you what, we are going to see a brand new Champions Division team for the first time. Whoever wins this matchup, Houston VcK or Red Storm, will be advancing to play in the top division in the world, the PSP Champions Division. So is it going to be Red Storm or is it going to be VcK? VcK has already been in this spot twice now. They've played in 2 semifinal matchups. This is their 3rd time in 3 events. They're new to this league this year, but they are definitely been impressing people. It's really hard to do what they've done. So if they can just win this game now, they will be advancing to play in the Champions Division. And then after this game, we have the game everyone's waiting for because the 2 powerhouse teams, LA Infamous and Art Chaos, are going to be playing against each other to see who stays down and who comes up. But let's get into this matchup. I'm Matty Marshall with Chris Lasoya and Todd Martinez. And here we go on the breakout. Big move from both teams to the Snake. Looks like VcK loses their Snake Runner. And looks like Red Storm makes it in alive.
Yeah, and that's key right there. If you're over here by yourself in the Snake, man, this is, you have full reign, but now taking the Snake. I don't think you saw him slip in there. Galka just getting shot out, maybe?
No, yeah, I think Galka doing work.
Good job, but I don't think you saw him get in there, but I think now the Skyline coach told him he's in there, and he's going to work. Nice shot by Galka.
Oh, VcK dying out of his bunker over here on the Snake side. And it looks like, though, regardless, doesn't matter that VcK died because the rest of the crew from Red Storm handling business over here on the Snake side to go up by 1 here against VcK. And it looks like Roznikov is definitely puts 2 confirmed kills for him. And Galka got another one, take out Ian Wilson. So 19:02 on that clock, and that point is going to be hung here. So just under 19 minutes to play. This game brought to you by Pro Edge Paintball. Actually, John Jackson, one of the leaders of VcK, doing a great job over there on that team. And you know, if you're in the Houston area and you're not going to Pro Edge Paintball, and help the people that are helping the sport. That's what this is all about. You know, paintball and its push forward is only as strong as the people willing to get into the fight. So if you're standing on the sidelines just gandering and not really contributing, thank you very much for watching. You're actually helping. Obviously, if you're listening to this right now and you're not watching it on YouTube later on, then you are helping us out. Take the sport to the next level. Every dollar that you contribute to the webcast goes directly in our production budget to keep this going. And you know, Pro Edge Paintball is a huge supporter of the sport. So if you're in the Houston area, that's your store, man. You got to start going to Pro Edge Paintball. So 1-0 is the score. VcK is going to have to pick it back up here. We'll be right back after this.
Being a Snake player, diving around a lot, you're crawling a lot, and the Geo can outstand my beating it up down the Snake. I can shoot straighter with that gun than I've ever shot in my life. The bunkers are getting smaller and smaller. You really need to play tighter and tighter. Having a small gun like a Geo 3 has helped me evolve my game and be able to play tight spots. My name is Billy Bernaccia. I play for San Antonio X Factor. My gun is a Geo 3.
Looking at into the pits for Houston Heat, there's Ryan Smith, son of owner Randy Smith for Houston Heat. And, you know, he got some great experience on that team. Hardcore practices, you know, for weeks on end, playing against some of the best players in the world. So, you know, and Ryan Smith's definitely, you know, he's a talented kid. So, cool to see him on Houston VcK. Right now, taking the field for VcK to start this point, Hyde, McCarty, Jackson, Danner, and John Jackson. Here we go, Red Storm. Looks like VcK getting shot off the break, trying to shoot up the center. Body dropping, though, for VcK. Nico Hyde gets shot, trying to get out wide. And now crawling into the Snake. I think that's Matt Jackson.
Yeah, Matt Jackson going all the way down into Snake 3 now. He's going to see if he can get some shots across the field. Looks like he's going to be going to heads up with Galka again. Galka in Snake 3 as well.
Oh, John Jackson dying out of his spot. So he's going to have to walk off. Oh, it's not looking good for VcK, losing too many bodies right now. They do have a player in the Snake still. Matt Jackson's in there.
Cam McCarty gets shot, and then Galka just runs down Matt Jackson, stands up, looks back, and sees none of his teammates are left alive for the 2nd game in a row. So Red Storm right now just beating VcK to the punch on both sides of the field, getting in the snake first, getting those early kills first, shooting bodies on the break. VcK went 3 hard to the snake side the first game, 3 hard to the Dorito side that game. And if you're Matt Jackson, you got to hustle off the field over there and not be walking off with your head down. It's only a 2-point game right now. VcK, you know, very capable of playing high-level paintball.
And this game, absolutely, Todd. This game just began.
Yeah. So
The difference between the best teams and the teams that aren't playing as well it's all in the head, man. It's between the ears. You know, the form, the technique is incredibly important, but you know that just gets you in the door. That just gets you out there on the field and gets you on these teams. The big quantum leap in your paintball ability comes when your mind slows down out there and you start being proactive and start reading variables, read and react like we've been talking about. So let's look at these matchups. So, you know, you got to give the edge to Red Storm a little bit on attacking, just because they have some of those former Russian Legion players, and VcK has a pretty solid game, but they play like a slower game. And when I talked to John Jackson ahead of time, he had kind of that's what we had talked about, how they needed to have they need to diversify their attack. Cultivate an offense so that when you're playing, if you do make it into the champs division and teams are looking at you, they're like, oh God, there's a lot going on over there. We don't really know exactly what we're going to do with these guys. And that's an incredibly important thing to progress forward. And he totally agreed. And so I think they've been working on that in practice. We'll see if they can get it done here. It's not looking good yet so far. Also, remember, go to hashtag PBA Live, take pictures of your webcast party and send them in for a chance to win. That dog is just transfixed on Lauren Kell's face.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, so looks like some Canada. So
those are some cool pictures, man.
Yeah,
really cool pictures.
My baby one, or the baby one, was my favorite one from yesterday.
Yes,
but there's a lot of good ones.
Yep.
So 17:38 to go. Just got going in this game. It's been all Red Storm so far, as evidenced by the kill count, Todd.
I mean, if the puppy is putting his puppy money up to watch the webcast, you know, then
exactly.
Puppy dollars work too.
Yeah, we'll take puppy dollars. So, Red Storm, 3 bodies towards the Dorito side on the break. VcK, same thing. Matt Jackson still able to get into the 50 snake on the break. But Red Storm losing 2 bodies off that Dorito side, make that 3 bodies. VcK with the advantage. They lose 1 body off that Dorito side, but Matt Jackson is now all the way over onto Red Storm's side of the field in the snake. He's about to tee off on that back center right in the pack. There goes Bear to GDO. Slipping and sliding up that back center. Going to run off the field right now, and 1 more body coming off. That is Rosnikov, number 2. From that snake side can.
Yeah, so nice work by Matt Jackson here in the snake, as he was able to get a couple kills and put a point on the board for Houston VcK. That flag is going to be walked in by McCarty. McCarty's just going to chill. I don't know. I think he should just walk and hang the flag.
Yeah.
What's the point? There's really no point in doing this.
No.
You actually, the time still is your friend, because you need the time, because you still will be down by 1. So just run the flag and hang it up. If you're not burning a penalty, Todd, what do you think the logic is here?
I don't know. Are the teams that do this scared to play long matches? You know, do they want to keep the game tight and play fewer points? That's the only thing I can think of when it's going to be 2-1. You know, do they not want to, or do they not have confidence that they're going to be able to put up 7 points? Are they trying to win by 1 in a?
Oh, I like where you're going with that, because
like,
I was drawing a blank. I don't get it. Just hang it up, man. Whatever. You have the momentum. What you're doing right now is you're allowing the other team to figure out what just went wrong. You just beat the brakes off them in this. It's better to sprint it in, hang it up. That momentum's on your side now. The team's still struggling. They're going to clean off, and now they only have 2 minutes to get going. Now you just gave them 4 minutes to get the next plan ready.
Exactly. The only other thing is to bait their pit guy into running on the field and getting them a penalty.
Which we saw yesterday in the Dynasty game, but that's rare.
Yeah.
That's a really low percentage play. That might happen like 0.5% of all the points.
Yeah, that's just
less.
If that happens, that's just a bad mental mistake by somebody in the pit. But, like, I don't know. Some teams do it all the time. You know, it's like, are you just going to keep doing that? But I agree. Like, if you're beating a team, you want to keep that momentum, get that flag, run it in. You know, as a coach, if you're going to stand there and hold it, and I recognize that you're doing that, I'll be like, okay, fine. Hey, everybody come in here, get cleaned up. I can talk to my guys more, get more information, set up a good plan. That guy who just won a point, maybe he was playing good. So now he's going to have to go back.
And
now he puts it, now it's harder for him because he's got to trudge all the way back to his pit through the mud, clean up, and get ready to go for this. It could get painted and aired up and come out for the next one.
Yeah.
So, I agree with you. I mean, you can almost, if he kept just chilling there, it just gives the Red Storm coach time to literally individually go to each guy and go over the game plan. All right, man, here, you're up next. Oh, cool, he's still chilling? Awesome. Yeah. All right, well, we're winning anyway. So, you know what I'm saying? It just doesn't make much logical sense.
I mean, if I recognize that too, and I see that your snake guys are all covered in mud, then I'll blow the horn. Make your guys hurry up. Because our guys have already gotten a chance to get in there and get clean. I don't know. It just whatever.
Bob begoggles me. Begoggles me.
Well, regardless, we're setting up here. Reset. 20 seconds to go before the start of this next one. And again, remember, to me, one of the most important matches, if you're keeping the whole grand scheme of professional paintball in mind, is Art Chaos and Los Angeles Infamous coming up after this game. But it is cool to see these new teams here, VcK and Red Storm. One of these teams is going up. One of these teams will be a Champions Division team for the West Coast Open.
And VcK going to lose Ian Wilson coming out to that snake side corner, running with the gun in his wrong hand. Got to keep that gun on the outside. Gets shot in the shoulder, so he's coming off. VcK tries to go up the middle. They're in that inside pin, trying to cut off the snake side. Let's see if that move's going to be effective. Number 8, Cam McCarty, looks to the inside as his teammate who was in that can, Nico Hyder, in the pin, goes up to the middle. So both players switch to the inside at the same time. Luckily, the Red Storm player who dove into the 50 snake got shot from across the field. Both Nico Hyde and Cam McCarty both look Dorito side at the same time, and then Nico Hyde looks back to the snake side and gets blown up in the back. VcK coming off jobs right now, leaving zones wide open. Players playing freestyle game. Not going to work against Red Storm. A disciplined camp playing straight ahead as they got 2 bodies now coming here to the snake side. Just 3 bodies left, just Nico Hyde. Or I'm sorry, just Cam McCarty over here on the snake side. Oh, they get 1 more body.
Well, Bear DeGidio is in the snake right now for Red Storm, so it's just him and Alexi left. So let's see if Bear DeGidio can wrap around, hopefully for him, get a shot on McCarty. McCarty, both VcK players looking towards D side. So now Bear DeGidio, no one's looking at Bear DeGidio. Like, McCarty has not even head checked this way. There he goes, he got head checks. But he just looked, we just watched Bear storm up the side. He's got to be careful, he's going to get shot in the back. Oh, he does get a shot on Bear, and Bear takes another shot. Ooh, that was a close one.
I think that's a
major
penalty.
Yeah, that's going to be a major penalty on Bear DeGidio. You see Bear get shot and then continue to play right there.
Yeah, well, here's the problem. There's no other players. Oh, there is one more player left. That was the player that's going to get the flag too, Maddie.
So that Bear DeGidio major penalty, I think, is going to cost Red Storm that point.
Wow.
I don't think Bear even knows that he got a major.
I'm sure they'll tell him. Well, let's go over this real quick. Now, this is how these two teams got there. Red Storm coming in, 7-2 against Boom. 5-4, they beat Trenton Top Gun Union. 6-7, they lost to Excessive by 1 point, and they got beat up by Infamous 7-2. On the flip side, VcK coming in here, 6-4 over Revo. And then 7-1 over CEP, 5-4 over Thunder, and then 6-5, they beat Art Chaos, 6-5 VcK. So they won out of their division. And that's how they got here. I mean, so no slouches by any means.
You can't sleep in the Challengers Division, too. You know, and then so these big-name teams are like, oh, God, we went down to the Challengers Division semi-pro. No, it's still a pro league, may be deemed semi-pro by the top 5 or 6 teams. But guess what? Both Art Chaos and Infamous lost a game in the Challengers Division, and that's why they're playing each other. So they put themselves in this position. So it looks like we got about less than a minute to go before the start of this next point. The score is 2-2. It looks like they did get a point there in that last one. So anyway, tie game. We'll be right back after this. All right, we're back here, getting in this next point. Tie game and 2 minutes on that Bear to GDO major penalty.
That's going to hurt, too. I mean, it's 2-2. You do not want to get a major. Oh, but look at VcK losing number 3 right there, coming out of the box, Nico Hyde.
Well, wait, Bear's in the box, though. Did he get the penalty?
Yeah,
Bear's in the box?
No, he definitely got the major.
Yeah,
well, then why is he in the box? Don't they always put somebody else in the box?
That makes no sense because
no?
they... Really?
Yeah, the guy that does the crime does the time now.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
No, it's the other way. It's been the other way around, like all event.
No, I
have seen that this event as well, but that's the way that it's.
Well, regardless, it did look like it was on Bear, but let's get into this point. Right now, Red Storm in good field position on the snake side. VcK has now got in there as well. Well, kind of got in there. He wanted to get in there, but he traded out with the guy.
And VcK and the 50 Dorito on the far side of the field too, Matty.
Yeah, so it was Galka and Matt Jackson throwing down in the snake, cleared each other out. So still one player left alive, though, for Red Storm. Starting to suck some more of this time off. 1 minute left on that major penalty. And here comes Ryan Smith up the center. No, I'm sorry, TJ Danner. So TJ Danner is going to do some work for VcK and hang that flag. And that is going to give them a 1-point lead here with about 12:25 to go.
Yeah, and that's going to be that
was a huge penalty for Red Storm because not only was Red Storm about to win that game right there, that would have put them up 3-2. Well, it would have put them up, 3-1, 3-2.
It would have been 3-2 because it was a stalemate game because there was nobody left alive. They would have been up 3-2, and they would not have had a penalty. So,
Man, tough break right there. Penalties kill you every time.
Yeah, we saw that in the game that you guys just played against San Antonio X Factor, where they had 3 major penalties from some of their core members to lose and get relegated down to the Challengers Division. So we're going to be right back after this. Don't go anywhere.
Field is key in being successful. Every snapshot, every lane, every gun battle, it all matters. Having equipment that allows me to play confident in the best of my abilities is huge. The spacing and texture of the Vanquish grips are ideal for handling in every situation. It's a soft shooting, hit every shot you take kind of marker. My name is Drew Templeton. I play for Team Infamous, and the Vanquish takes my game to another level.
This is the Earth. The Earth is beautiful. Earth is where we play paintball. It is important to recycle in order to save the Earth. Do not recycle custom paintball jersey designs. Get what you pay for. Get a fresh original design at rosalife.com.
Back here, split screen breakout. VcK on your left, Storm on your right.
And now there's somebody else in the box, which makes absolutely no sense to me. Losing number 23.
Well, maybe it was just a little mistake. Regardless, there is a guy in the box for 40 more seconds on that Bear to GDO penalty.
And Samoylov taking a shot in the break, now down to 3 players. Red Storm. And here comes VcK. Oh, losing another one over here, Todd, number 2.
Yeah, getting shot out on the break. Rostakov losing a gunfight, actually. So just 2 bodies left alive now. Trying to burn off the last 15 seconds of that penalty. Looks like Nico Hyde attacking that Dorito side. Ian Wilson over here in Snake 3. Gun battling with Bear to GDO. Ian coming into the 50 Snake, trying to get a better shot, and does put one in on the right, or the left shoulder of Bear to GDO.
But I think he traded out with them.
Coming out of the box.
Yeah,
but getting blown up right away coming out of that penalty box. So just 1 body left alive for Red Storm. So VcK on that power play, able to get a couple points. They're going to go up 4-2 now. Red Storm came out really hammering first couple points right away, but then VcK has come right back, put a couple points on the board of their own, and then earned a couple more off that major penalty. So VcK with a 4-2 lead, 3 points away from making it into the Champions Division for the West Coast Open.
That would be huge for VcK, man. You know, they've had 2 opportunities so far this year in the first 2 events, not able to capitalize there, so that's why they're still in the Challengers division. But like you said, Todd, 3 points away, and they got that 2-point lead. 11:20 to go. We'll be right back.
This isn't just a field. This is my home. This isn't just a team. This is my family. This isn't just a sport. This is a way of life. This isn't just a league. This is the MSXL.
So we're back here, and 2-4 is the score on the field right now for VcK. Ian Wilson, Mitchell Andrus, Ryan Smith, Matt Jackson, and TJ Danner. On the flip side, Red Storm has Thomas Petruka, Albert DeGidio, Bear DeGidio, Alexander Galka, Sergey Oralznikov, and Yan Samoylov.
You know, this game, right, 4-2 right now, this VcK game, it should be a lot closer because of the Red Storm penalty, that major penalty on Bear DeGidio. Definitely 2 good points that was scored by VcK, so they took really good advantage of that so far. Sun coming out, though, starting to dry up a little bit.
Yeah, that's a good point, Chris. You know, that penalty on Bear was definitely the swing for momentum for Red Storm. But they have a lot of game left, man. With 11:20 to go, absolutely, Storm could easily get back in this match, tied up. We'll see. Can they do it? VcK on your screen right now. So on the breakout, VcK able to get out wide here, snake side. They get Galka in the snake, and he is going to try to push forward.
And Galka in there right away on the break. This is how they won those first couple points really quickly, by him getting in there. VcK going 3 hard bodies up to the Dorito side, and Galka just teeing off on that Dorito corner. 5-4 right now. Make that 5-3 as VcK loses another player. VcK going to lose 2 more players. May catch him. Nope.
Oh.
Matt Jackson got shot in the pack. Lucky not to get a penalty right there. He's going to come walking off.
Well, this is what they needed. This is what Red Storm needed. They needed to shoot some guys out of their bunkers and pull within 1, and Bear DeGidio is going to grab that flag to hang it up to pull, yeah, within 1 point. So the score will be 4-3 with tons of time to go. So now back at full strength. That's what's capable for Red Storm here. And Bear got a shot on Ian Wilson. Looks like Petruka got 2 kills. Samoylov got a kill. So good full team effort there from Red Storm.
Yeah, and also Bear is shooting out the snake, like you said. A huge shot, because he was heads up in the snake against Galka. But by Bear taking that shot and getting him out, Galka had full reign of the snake, and it was pretty much domination after that.
So we got about a minute 27 before the start of the next one. And again, man, the next game is going to be LA Infamous and Art Chaos. And that is going to be crazy because the loser of that game has to stay in the Challengers Division. And the winner will move up again for the West Coast Open. And what makes the West Coast Open so interesting is that normally the fourth event, before the Champs and the Challengers brackets existed, the fourth event wasn't as important. It was always kind of the the stepchild event.
Ramp up to World Cup.
That's exactly the way to put it. But now that you mentioned that, Maddie, I know exactly where you're going with that. But yeah, it's so important to the World. It's really important to the preemptive of the World Cup.
Well, because if you play bad and you're in the Champions Division, that means you're not going to be playing in the Champions Division for the biggest event of the year. And we always know that everyone knows the World Cup is the pinnacle. Probably going to hit 400 teams this year, and
if you ever do anything in your life, it's on the bucket list. Go to the World Cup.
Yeah, it's
even
awesome.
If you just go to watch, hang out. I mean, the vendors, support paintball. I mean, whatever you got to do to get there. It's right down the street from Disneyland. Take the family.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's close to Tampa, close to Orlando. If you've never been to Florida, but yeah, but that's the thing, and everyone wants to always have that chance to do what X Factor did last year, and win the World Cup. So here we go on the breakout. Split screen breakout. VcK is on your right, and Red Storm on your left.
Red Storm, all 5 bodies alive, advancing up the Dorito side. VcK going 3 hard to the Dorito side, losing bodies. John Jackson walking off first. Just 1 body in the snake corner for VcK. Oh, looked like Ryan Smith caught a bounce. Standing up in that can, he might want to get out of there. It's going to get tight real quick with Galka in the 50. Here comes Ryan Smith, breaking out to the snake side. He makes it in alive. Good move for him to preserve his life, but then he gets bounced again in that can. Houston VcK's got TJ Danner and Nico Hyde over there on the Dorito side as Galka comes into the 50 snake, where he has been so effective for Red Storm so far. Looks across the field, he's going to have to reload. Bear fills in behind him in the snake side temple. And number 23 filling up for Red Storm, Samoylov, going all the way up there to the Dorito corner, coming in behind his teammates. Still 5 bodies alive for Red Storm.
Oh, but Galka gets caught slipping a little greedy around on that wrap, and gets just kind of forgets that back corner bunker is still hot. And so he gets taken out. He's going to have to take the slow walk off the field. That leaves the snake open. And I think that was Nico Hyde in the back corner bunker for VcK. Who is that? No, it's Jackson. Matt Jackson. Awesome shot by him to get Galka out of there. And Galka's been definitely a thorn in VcK's side. But VcK is still with this lead here. But it's 3-on-4, guys. Red Storm, 4 bodies alive. Split field. Looks like Bear DeGidio wants to get in the snake here. So Bear gunfighting, you can see by his body language. Well, right now you're looking at VcK on your screen, but on the other side, Bear DeGidio wants to get in that snake.
Look at Ryan Smith.
And that's going to help,
especially
a minor
with this
penalty. So Bear needs to launch right now. Let's just see if Bear can just clip out the damage control coming from that opposite side as TJ Danner tried to get out wide. He's not able to do it. Or was that Cam McCarty?
Yeah, Cam McCarty's the one that got the penalty. So down 1 point right now. Red Storm is going to be able to tie this up.
Maybe, because they shot the Dorito side now. He's all alone on that Dorito side. If you can get a shot on Bear.
Well, Bear just grabbed the flag. He's going to switch hands and drop the hammer on the last player. So nice work, Bear DeGidio.
But here's the thing, Bear has the flag. No, Bear has the flag. He has to go. Now he has to run all the way over to see Bear to grab the flag and take it and hang it. Slip, sliding, and slipping.
Yeah, so it was Rosnikov. So nice job by Rosnikov over here, snake side, and Petruka getting himself 2 more kills. Bear DeGidio shot Nico Hyde. So good solid teamwork there by Red Storm. 7:34 to go. Tie ball game, 4-4.
What a good game. I mean, we wouldn't expect anything less. Like we've seen all morning. We called this in the morning, Maddie, when we saw all the games. How it's just going to be a good morning altogether. All these teams are evenly matched.
Yeah, I mean, well, and the first 2 games we saw were 7-4 games, but they were close. And, penalties in that first one, I mean, obviously Vicious played well, but X Factor threw some penalty bombs out for themselves. But it was pretty entertaining. And then Shock and 187 ended up taking that victory. So now here we got tie game. And the anticipation builds for this next one, Los Angeles Infamous and our Chaos. And then after that, we're going to start the Champions semifinals with Tampa Bay Damage, Edmonton Impact, Los Angeles Ironman, Houston Heat, the 4 best teams thus far here at the PSP Open, Chicago Open. So we're going to be right back with more of this action. Stick around.
Are you ready for an explosion of paintball videos? Then stay tuned to paintballaccess.com because the CXBL is back for their 10th anniversary season. Catch all the best pro talent north of the border as teams battle it out in full X-Ball matches. Paintballaccess.com, on the field, in the pits, behind the scenes.
He is good enough to play. I'm an aggressive person, still to this day. Anytime I play, even if I play Call of Duty, I'm running at you nonstop.
Do you have an issue with him? No, I'm just...
You can speak up, Vito. The camera's facing towards me. This is freaking huge to me, and I want to see what you're gonna do, okay? Because 9 out of 10 people, they give you a little hint, when they go bunker somebody, the idiot runs right into their freaking barrel, okay? When their barrel's shooting, pounding one way, they run right into it to bunker him, guaranteeing their death. Well, figure it out. Don't do that.
Is there anybody here from Sweden? Where's the Swedish guy? There he is.
Here, 4-4 between VcK and Red Storm. I'm standing here with Mitchell Andrus. Now, you guys have been doing really well yesterday. You even beat our Chaos in the last match in the prelims for you.
Yeah.
What bunkers or side of the field has been most productive for you guys this weekend?
I feel like the D side, we've been really trying to push the D side. It's our strong side, I feel like, and just really trying to get down it and stay alive over there. But yeah, it's definitely our push side, the Doritos side.
Most teams are saying the Snake side is the most important side to push on this field layout. So tell me exactly what bunkers and like what kind of opportunities you see on the D side that maybe other teams aren't getting.
The Snake's very important because I feel like once your team gets up in the Snake, the guns switch, and then the Dorito side kind of opens up and allows you to kind of fly down. Because once you get to the Dorito 2, 50 Dorito, those are pretty key bunkers to shoot the whole Snake side. So, yeah.
All right, well, it's working out for them so far. It's tied 4-4 against Red Storm. We'll see who takes the lead.
So we're back here into the action. Red Storm VcK, tied game. Bodies dropping for both sides. Looks like one body comes off for VcK and 2 bodies coming off for Red Storm as Alexei and Razakov both come off for Storm. 3 bodies left alive for them. Berdigito, Petruka, and Samoylov. VcK into the Snake. Matt Jackson in a real good spot. He's going to get the drop on Berdigito, who could not get small enough in that center bunker. Now Matt Jackson, he can win this point. All he needs to do is get all the way down towards the end of the Snake here, but it's a slow crawl through that mud. So Matt Jackson playing it slow, methodical over here. Not looking at any bodies on his side, trying to use his communication and let his center player know that he's got this side. So now Cam McCarty up in the center. You can see that right-hand portion of your screen, trying to pinch out the last 2 players. But it's up to Jackson right now. Unless the players are out of the bunkers. One of them goes and the other one throws his body away, trying to push forward into the little Dorito for no reason. And so nice work by VcK here to go up 1.
VcK right there, shooting those bodies off the break. Look a little scary for them, going three heavy to the Dorito side again. But you know, they were able to shoot the Snake side of Red Storm out really early, allowed Matt Jackson to come all the way up to the 50 and blow Bertigio to bits in that back center, leaving just the Dorito corner and the Dorito 1. So, you know, here's the VcK pit. You know, always a very calm pit. You know, kind of, you know, their pit's always the way that these guys are on the field. You know, just very technical, very by the book, come out and execute type of team. As they send, looks like Ian Wilson coming on the field right now. You got Cam McCarty, TJ Danner, Nico Hyde. Doing a good job getting that lead back. 6:35 left to go, just under a minute before the start of the next point.
So Todd, and then the big looming battle that's coming down next, Infamous and Chaos. What do you think is going to happen in that game, man? I know you haven't been able to look at Infamous and Chaos much because they've been in the Challengers division over here, but just knowing what you know about those two teams and the legends that are on those rosters, other than the fact that it's going to be crazy, what do you think, man? I really think that it's going to be a bloodbath. I mean, both these teams, this field plays to both these teams' strengths. Shooting on the break, crazy game plans, attacking, smart finishers, closers, adjustments. You know, it's going to be who shoots who on the break, and, you know, smart players closing out games, you know, not letting the smart players, the clutch players on the other team even up the bodies when it comes down to it. You know, sticking to the game plans and, you know, just executing. So as we see Red Storm come out here, split bodies, one in the back center. VcK looks like they lose Ryan Smith early out of that Dorito side can, but they're able to get Ian Wilson into Snake too. Yeah, Cam McCarty over here on the Snake side as well. Mitchell Andrus and TJ Danner up on the Dorito side. And Todd Galka just got his back player to get out behind him, so that's going to help him out because right now, bodies dropping for VcK. Another one goes. Ryan Smith got shot by Galka already, and then Cam McCarty comes off as well too. So it's just Ian Wilson all by himself over here in the Snake. Oh, but yeah, so Galka behind him. It looks like Rosnikov, and then they also have Samoylov right behind him as well. So it's looking really good right now for Red Storm to tie this up here. 5 minutes and 39 seconds. There goes Wilson. He gets peeled off for VcK. And then one of the last players left alive for VcK over on the D side. He gets shot. That's number 26, Mitchell Andrus. You know, and Mitchell in his interview was just talking about how important the D side is to VcK's attack. Absolutely. But, you know, and Todd, you talked about execution. This field layout is really not that difficult now that we've seen all these games play out. You know, we watched 12 games Friday and Saturday, so 24 total games that we got to watch out here. And after watching all that paintball, I'll tell you, man, it is not complicated. You have to flood the Snake side, and you have to have creative, smart players on that D side. The center really not playing much at all. So knowing that, and we just watched VcK not able to stop the attack of VcK, I'm sorry, of Red Storm. So we got ourselves a tie ball game, and like we're talking about that matchup, Infamous and Chaos coming up next. Looks like Lauren Kelly has Travis Lemansky, the owner, captain, and leader of Infamous. And let's listen in what he has to say.
Thanks, Maddie. Yeah, well, VcK and Red Storm are battling it out on the field here. Infamous and our Chaos are on the sidelines getting ready for their match. It's an extremely important one. Now, a lot of people were surprised that you guys lost a match yesterday to Top Gun Union. Can you tell us what happened during that match?
Honestly, it's penalties. You know, I mean, you can't really get 4 penalties in a match and expect to win. We kept it pretty close for having those 4, but you know, it's just that's the luck of the draw. Sometimes, you know, you're not going to get through if you have those.
Absolutely. Going down to the challenger bracket, most people would think that you would have an easier tournament this go around in Chicago, but now you're going against our Chaos, who has some strong weapons. So how are you guys feeling going into that?
We still feel good, right? I mean, the biggest thing that affects us is obviously the rain, but it kind of affects everybody. But you know, you practice for 6 days on smooth grass and this and that, and then all of a sudden you're playing where you can't even move. So that's the biggest variable, is everyone's trying to make these adjustments for the mud.
Well, we haven't been able to see our Chaos play yet, and I'm sure you have been scouting them. So what things can we expect to see from them, and what mistakes are you hoping they make that they've made previously?
You know, they drop a guy in the center a lot, and you know, we think that that's a pretty vulnerable spot. So.
All right. Well, Infamous versus our Chaos is going to be up after this game, but first, let's see who wins, VcK versus Red Storm.
Yeah, Travis Lemansky, love him. Actually just got to get Travis Lemansky into my podcast, so go to paintballaccess.com's podcast section and listen to it. Man, it was, you know, the history of Infamous, Travis's long and storied history in the game, and, you know, we talk about the evolution of the sport itself, because kind of been there from the transition from woods to hyperball to airball to X-ball to the race 2, whole way through. So right now, on the field. It looks like VcK struggling early on the snake side. Red Storm just did it to him in the last point to tie it up. So can Red Storm continue to do it here with 4 minutes and 42 seconds? Looks like Galka into the snake again, and he has definitely been the go-to guy for them in the snake. He's backed up, got a player right behind him. Bertagidio has been playing that little spot though, Todd, in that center. Looks like Galka, no, his guns are up. Oh, I think he just might have caught one. Oh, I don't know, saw something break off. Bertagidio takes a big bite all the way to the back corner bunker. Did he make it in? It looks like he is clean, so Bertagidio getting out to help his boys on the D side of the field. 3 players for Red Storm on that side now and 2 on this snake side.
Yeah, so VcK down a body, but Matt Jackson really working that snake. Backed up off snake 2, because Red Storm really has overloaded that Dorito side right now with that move by Bertagidio. As he gets all the way over to that Dorito corner, they now occupy the corner, the Dorito 1 and the Dorito 2. But, you know, 2 bodies. Galka's over here in snake 3, just daring Matt Jackson to play him. He's not going to, so Galka's going to crawl into the 50 snake and see if he can get a shot now on Matt Jackson. Matt still playing straight up, dealing with the corner, the snake corner. And Galka comes up over the top, shoots some balls towards the Dorito side, but...
And time winding down here, Todd and Matt. It's 3 minutes left almost in this game, tied 5-5. Both teams evened up, not looking to make a mistake right here. First one to do, I think, is going to lose this point.
Yeah. Well, there goes Galka. He's going to bunker out Jackson. And McCarty going to fill out to the corner. Did he get picked up? No, even trade out on the snake. There goes the referee in to check McCarty. McCarty's clean. On into the snake. Red Storm takes over in snake 3. Guns up down the wire right away. Red Storm made a move into that Dorito side temple. 1 bunker away from the 50 Dorito. So just 1 body on the snake side for both teams. Neither team can afford to lose that body right now. But 3 strong over there for Red Storm on the Dorito side. And only 1 player playing straight up, so they really need to gang up their guns and start putting the pressure on the Dorito side of VcK. Can he do anything? Roznikov from that 50 snake now, trying to gun battle with the Dorito 2 of VcK. Mitchell Andrus and TJ Danner trying to stay alive. Oh, near miss right there in the snake.
This is crucial for Roznikov to do well in here. I mean, he has the ball right now, so to speak. And by what that means, what we mean by that is that he is the one that's going to make this game break open. But he is all alone over here. If he gets shot, it's going to be almost curtains for Red Storm, because VcK is just going to jump right in the snake.
Yeah, Bertagidio may even be able to make a fill back across to the middle or to the snake side. Try and help Roznikov out a little bit over here, but time winding down. There's only 1 minute and 20 seconds left to go in the ball game, and we are knotted at 5-5. So is anybody going to go for it here? I don't think Red Storm wants to have another breakout with VcK, because they've got the bodies, they've got the positions.
I think they're concerned, Todd, to make this mistake. I think they're concerned to be that one to make the mistake, because especially at least Roznikov knows that if he goes down the field, he's going to cost them this game. So at least he's being smart about it and try and get the shot across the field to free them up. Looks like he made a bounce across the field. I do there, Todd.
Ooh, another close shot right there into that Dorito 2 by Roznikov.
McCarty looking down the wire on your screen right now, trying to get that shot down the snake. But here comes on the other side of the field. Now look McCarty. He switched over because now they made that 50 Red Storm. Yeah, you see on my right side of your screen. Red Storm at the 50 Dorito, Todd, freeing up Roznikov to get down the snake now a little further.
Nobody watching the clock. Is somebody going to make a move? It's not going to do any good to die in your back bunkers. Red Storm with the ball.
That was a 3-minute game too, Todd.
Oh, and there goes the body.
12
Walking the field, TJ Danner. 2 bodies coming off right now. Can Red Storm, somebody's got to go get the flag.
I don't know.
Everybody ran past the flag. No, they're not going to get it.
They're not going to have enough time, so we are going to go to an overtime point. And boys, we might just, time expires, we might just get to see the one-on-ones that we're been begging for all the time.
If Roznikov would have grabbed that flag, he would have won that point.
Yeah, he definitely would have.
Because he would literally, number 23, was it? Samoylov was 5 feet from that bunker.
Well, we're going to reset. So how it works on Sunday is you get 3 minutes in an overtime period if no point is scored, which for this particular layout, it's all going to come down to the break, of course. But this layout, we could definitely see a point scored in 3 minutes, no problem. But if no point is scored, then we go to one-on-ones. And each team will send their champions out to see who's going to win and send them to the champions division.
Ooh, who you got in this overtime?
I got to give it to Red Storm.
It all comes down. It comes down to the break. It comes down to the break,
absolutely,
of course.
100%.
Let's watch this replay here, Todd.
Yeah, here finally jumping to that 50 Dorito, getting that kill, then attacking, getting the second kill over there. Referees checking him up, but here comes Red Storm through the middle of the field, having to get that last kill in the corner, but he looks back and nobody has gone for the flag.
And
I never saw Bear DeGidio die. Did he die at some point? I thought he was still in that corner.
I thought so too.
Now, you know what kills me is that there's nothing that happened in the last 20 seconds of that game that couldn't happen 2 minutes earlier.
Yeah,
You know?
or at least 1 minute earlier.
Yeah, and that's always one of those things that's easy for us to say because we're up here and they're out there playing in the mud with all the stress on their backs. But yes, Chris, that is a point. That's a valid point. But that a lot of times, seeing the move, seeing the timing, seeing the again, read and react, and that's the big difference, though. But you have to start cultivating that if you're going to be able to persevere and succeed in the Champions Division, which one of these two teams is moving up into. Are we going to find out in 3 minutes? Are we going to go to one-on-ones? Please go to one-on-ones. Love watching one-on-ones. It's so interesting. But honestly, it totally comes down to the break. Fast points are always decided by how many bodies drop off the break. And we have definitely seen bodies drop off the break in this particular tournament. So here we go. Overtime period. 3 minutes on the clock. Heavy push from VcK down the D side of the field. They lose a body. Heading out wide on that side. And here comes Matt Jackson sludging through the lake over there and is able to get into Snake 2. But Galka dies as well, so that's going to slow things down for Red Storm, even on the body count. It's going to slow things down for VcK as they lost the body on the D side. It's going to speed things up for Red Storm, and I think that looks like Samoylov pushing down the D side of the field, either that or Roznikov.
Roznikov on the offensive, getting ready to jump into that 50 Dorito. Is he going to get a shot in on the Snake can? Matt Jackson, he's in Snake 3, looking across the field. Roznikov in the 50. There goes Cam McCarty out of the Snake side can. Roznikov doing work. No, Samoylov getting shot out of the 50.
Ooh, reaching the 2 minute mark now, but as both bodies drop for both teams. Oh, but it looks like, I think, was that Bear?
No, that was Thomas.
No, Bear's still alive in the center, and he's trying to control Matt Jackson. But that's a tough spot for Bear now because he's lost all his bodies on that D side, and he's forced to look towards Matt Jackson because he's in a bad spot if Jackson gets up farther.
He should get out of there for sure.
Yeah, but where is he going to go?
I'd go to the can, anywhere but there.
Yeah, you got a point. Because if VcK starts pushing down the D side, they're going to shoot Bear in the back. And they're looking at only one gun. That's Roznikov in the back corner bunker on the Snake side. Time starting to tick off. Minute and 27 seconds left to go. Matt Jackson still sizing it up here in the Snake on your screen. And he's only looking at 2 guns.
Bear's only hope is that his teammate in the Snake side corner can fend
back
off the attack of Ryan Smith coming up through that middle on the Dorito side.
And here it comes. Oh, Bear drops as he was in that bad spot. You can see him look to the sky frustrated, and there goes the other body. Matt Jackson pumping his fist to the sky, and a triumphant VcK is going to win this one here in overtime and have enough time to hang it up. There was less than a minute to go, but too many bodies had dropped off that D side. And even though VcK had lost one of their guys on that Dorito side of the field, they were able to win some gunfights. And then Ryan Smith, TJ Danner making their moves to close out the game and send their team into the Champions Division. Wow.
Jeez, VcK
well played by
just
both
knocking
teams.
on the door. Knocking on the door.
All season long.
And then, bam, finally opens up for him.
In a tough one.
And now overtime. It took him an overtime victory to make it into the Champions Division for the West Coast Open.
Good for them, though. Hats off to those guys. Both teams played a stellar game. The penalty killed Red Storm. Killed it. They were playing very well, took wind out of their sails. 2 points came up on VcK, and then all of a sudden, look what you know, you're going to overtime and they win.
Well, we listened to the interview as the upcoming game, Infamous and Art Chaos. Travis Lemansky, during the middle of this game, we talked to him, or Lauren talked to him, and he brought that up, penalties. And on Sunday particularly, and Chris, just like you pointed out, in a close matchup like this, just one major penalty, that could do it. You know, that could put a couple points on the board for VcK, allowed them to take that momentum back. Obviously, Red Storm fought very hard, but still just not enough at the end. It all came down to the overtime point and a couple guys getting out there. TJ Danner, Ryan Smith. Ryan Smith, 3 confirmed kills for Ryan Smith. So, man, what a way to come out. Didn't get a ton of playing time, but he comes out in the overtime point and gets it done, man. Gets 3 kills, wins the game.
Yeah, well, he played good, man. He played good for Houston Heat. You know, he decided to go back and play with his friends. He's back there now, and they did very, very well. So,
well, let's check in with Lori Kelly. She was down with the winners, Houston VcK.
Hey guys, I am down here with your winners, VcK. You guys are bumping up to the champions bracket for the first time. How does it feel?
So good. So good.
It's unreal.
Now, you've been in the champions bracket with Heat before, so you kind of know what the competition is. What do you think you guys really need to focus on to make sure you have a good showing and can stay there to get into World Cup?
We have to work as a team. Communication is one thing, but conversating is another. And that's one thing we really worked on this past tournament, is actually holding a conversation with our guy to have a purpose to move down the field.
Absolutely. TJ, one of the most crucial matches you guys played was the last one of yesterday when you beat Art Chaos. Kind of run down that match with us and tell us what exactly happened, how you got that win.
Well, we got off to a really good start. We went up 4-1, and then we got a couple penalties, and then the monsoon came. They ended up stopping playing on the champions field over here, but we were still playing over there. So they ended up coming back, putting a couple points, and we were up 6-5 with a minute left. We started a point with 3 guys, and we were able to hold them off in the pouring rain. No one could see anything, so it was a good win.
That's pretty incredible. Being down bodies 3-5, what was your best strategy that you could come up with? Because that's really tough to do.
Honestly, just staying calm and trusting in the guys around you. We knew we had a guy in the box coming out after a little while, so we're just playing tight, talking to each other, and just staying calm.
All right, well, congratulations. Next up, we have Infamous versus Art Chaos. Only one of them can bump up to the champions bracket for the West Coast Open. Who do you guys think it's going to be?
Ooh, that's a good question. I think it's going to be close. Might be overtime like us, I think.
Well, you got to guess who's going to be.
I got Art Chaos. Infamous. Shooting the best guy out there.
They don't agree.
Tiebreaker. I actually say Infamous. I think they'll take it.
All right, we'll see who's right. Stay tuned. Infamous versus Art Chaos coming up.